common sense accounting. See, I'm fortunate. It doesn't work. I'm out of the camera lens.
I'll have to give it up next time, Rory. That's why we had a test week.
I got one for you.
We can do this, Rory. Here, there we go.
I haven't missed anything.
Okay, 1 minute.
No, it's right. There you go.
All right, call the public meeting to discuss a proposed zoning bylaw amendment, reading D14-21-07, 661 9th Street. At this time, we'd ask to read the land acknowledgement.
As we gather, we recognize that we are on Treaty 3 lands which are steeped in rich Indigenous history and home to many First Nations and Métis people today. We continue to be thankful for the partnerships with our Indigenous people. We give thanks for the many blessings we enjoy in the city of Kenora. We seek wisdom in our minds, clearness in our thinking, truth in our speaking, and always love in our hearts, so that we may try always to unite the citizens of Kenora. Let these principles guide us in our decision-making.
The purpose of public meetings is to present planning applications in a public forum as required by the Planning Act. Following presentations by the applicant and our city planner, any member of council will be afforded an opportunity to speak, and at that time the meeting will then be open to the public for comments and questions. The public is encouraged to read the city planner's planning report in advance of the public meeting, which may clarify questions in advance of the public meeting. Interested persons are requested to give their name and address for recording in the minutes. Personal information collected as a result of this public hearing and on the forms provided at the meeting are collected under the authority of the Planning Act and will be used to assist in making a decision on this matter. All names, addresses, opinions, and comments may be collected and may form part of the minutes, which will be available to the public. Questions regarding this collection should be forwarded to the city clerk. Excuse me. Notice was given by publishing in the Daily Miner News, which in the opinion of the clerk of the city of Kenora is of sufficiently general circulation in the area to which the proposed bylaw amendment would apply. And that would give the public reasonable notice of the public meeting. Notice was also provided by mail to every owner of property within 120 meters of the subject property. Prescribed persons and public bodies and posted online in the City of Kenora portal. An appeal may be made to the Ontario Land Tribunal no later than 20 days after the date that the giving of notice is required by Section 3418 is completed by either the applicant or person or public body who, before the bylaw is passed, makes oral submissions at the public meeting or written submissions to the council. It may not be added as party unless, in the opinion of the tribunal, there are reasonable grounds to do so. Notice of appeal can be filed with the city clerk with the tribunal's required fee. Any appeal may only be made on the basis that the bylaw is inconsistent with the policy statement issued under subsection 3-1, fails to conform with or conflicts with the provincial plan, or fails to conform to an applicable official plan. No decisions are made at public meetings concerning applications unless otherwise noted. Public meeting is held to gather public opinion. The Council of the City of Kenora will have the opportunity to consider a decision at a future meeting of council. Herein, the applicant will have the opportunity to speak on behalf of their application, and the city planner will provide a summation of the report and recommendation, after which anyone who wishes to speak either for or against the application will be given the opportunity to do so, and a record will be kept of all comments. If anyone wishes to receive the notice of decision of council, please leave your name and address with the city planner. Council, at this time I'd ask if anyone wishes to declare a pecuniary interest, either on today's agenda or from a previous meeting, or from a meeting in which a member was not in attendance. Seeing none. At this time, I would invite Andrew Brookes to present their application, please. Welcome, Andrew.
Thank you, thank you. I'm not sure how much detail you guys want me to get into, but in general terms, what we want to do is build a professional building on lot 2 out of the 3 lots initially, which would be comprised of my engineering office and a dental clinic and potentially a couple other occupants, which would be rental type spaces. So this is actually, this project is a joint venture between myself and a dentist in town. So first plan would be lot 2, kind of parallel to rugged geomatics building. And then our second kind of project moving forward would be a similar type building mirrored on lot 1, which will be at the corner of 9th and the new Millick Avenue extension. And part of the motivation is my engineering office, I'm kind of bursting at the seams, I need more space. And the dentist I'm working with is really struggling with parking and room for expansion. So what we're really focusing on is the parking between the 2 buildings so that we can be sort of self-sufficient in lots 1 and 2. And as you can see in the plan, lot 3 sort of runs across the back of the 2 lots, which is going to be sort of overflow and potentially some stormwater storage type space. So that's kind of where we're at and what we're hoping to do. And the reason for the rezoning is because the dental occupancy is not permitted within the light industrial. So if it wasn't for that dental occupancy, we would just be able to move forward with the light industrial zoning. But given that occupancy, we're looking for that rezoning.
Thank you. This time I'd ask City Planner Kevin Sumner to describe the details of the application.
Yes, sure. So as Andrew's already mentioned, there's a zoning amendment from ML Light Industrial Zone to GC General Commercial Zone to introduce some more flexibility for the uses that he's proposed or envisioning for the site. So there's approximately 1.4 hectare portion of the former Abitibi Mill site that corresponds to 3 lots in the proposed subdivision that was conditionally approved last summer, but it hasn't yet been finalized. So if you look at our mapping, those lots haven't been created yet, but the area proposed for the zoning will line up with those lots when they are formally created. The north edge of these lots is 9th Street North. The west edge will be the future road into the mill site that the council's heard about last winter in terms of our contribution towards that. It's a relatively flat area of the site, as you can see from the site photo that I included with my report. As Andrew mentioned, lots 1 and 2 are fairly flat. Lot 3 is on the sloped area to the rear of that. You can see the rear of that photo there. In terms of compliance with the provincial policy statement, I believe that the proposed amendment is generally consistent with policies 1.1.3.2 and 1.1.3.3, as it will support the future development of a range of uses and opportunities for intensification and redevelopment, specifically on a brownfield site, which is encouraged. Policy 1.7.1 of the PPS states that the long-term economic prosperity should be supported by, and amongst the reasons, A, promoting opportunities for economic development and community investment readiness, and F, promoting the redevelopment of brownfield sites. In terms of the city's own official plan, one of the 9 guiding principles of the official plan is to encourage new development, to provide for a mix of uses and planning for complete communities, with one of the objectives of that principle being to provide opportunities for the redevelopment of the former mill site. The land use designation, and I wanted to focus on this area especially, the land use designation of the western portion of the mill site is commercial development area, with the central portion of the site designated as industrial development area. And you can see how that is mapped out in our official plan mapping in the image I provided, figure 4 in the report. And you'd see that the area being rezoned on that map goes into the industrial area. But I wanted to point to policy 9.1 of the official plan, which isn't something that we turn to very often, so it may not be something that you come across your table recently. which states, "It is intended that the boundaries of land use designations shall be considered as general only and are not intended to define the exact limits of such areas except in the case of roads, railways, and other physical barriers that provide definitive boundaries. Minor adjustments may be made to those boundaries for the purpose of any zoning bylaw without necessitating the amendment of the plan." And in this case, in interpreting the intent of the plan, it seemed clear that the western edge of the end of the mill site was to be used for commercial development and the central area for industrial. So this is moving commercial over from the western area, and the eastern, the central portion of the mill site will remain industrial. And so we saw no need for an official plan amendment. We felt that the purpose of the official plan was being respected. Policy 4.4 of the plan states that commercial development areas, the continued development of retail commercial uses shall be promoted in order to serve the residents of the city of Kenora, northwestern Ontario, western Canada, and the midwestern United States. Turning to the zoning bylaw, I think Andrew's already explained well that that one of the intended uses and potentially others might not fit with the ML zone. So it's really a minor adjustment in terms of the uses that are supported. Just that full range of commercial uses isn't supported under the ML zone. The engineering office would have been, but not the dental office. And as I mentioned, like with the official plan, the properties to the west of this property are already zoned as general commercial. So the result will be that road through that new road, that when it's created through that development, will have commercial on both sides of the road, which will make it more of a commercial corridor than would have been just commercial on the site of the future casino. I've noted here the results of interdepartmental and agency circulation in the report. No current concerns were expressed, though I just would highlight that the Ministry of Environment, Conservation and Parks did note that we directly asked them, and they indicated that it doesn't appear that we require a record of site condition for the change of use. And Synergy North had noted that depending on the situation, easements might need to be provided for servicing, which is something that is already in discussion in connection with the subdivision that was approved last summer. And notice of the application was given in accordance with Section 30 of the Planning Act. It was circulated to property owners within 120 meters and published in the municipal memo, and circulated to persons in public bodies as legislated. The Planning Advisory Committee at their meeting last month considered the application and passed a resolution recommending approval. The minutes and relevant resolution are included in the package for council. And as of the date of the report, and since there has been no formal public comments submitted from anyone in regards to this application. Therefore, it's my evaluation that the policies of the official plan leave some discretion to council in considering the realignment of zone boundaries within a larger site such as this. The general vision for development of the former Abitibi site is preserved, with commercial development being oriented towards the western edge and the proposed casino site, and industrial development being located further east. This application further supports compatibility amongst uses in the western hillside area, as the GC zone contains uses more conducive to potential commercial and residential development in neighboring lots. This zoning bylaw amendment will facilitate the redevelopment of 3 of the lots being created at the former mill site, allowing the applicant to accommodate additional tenants in the proposed 2-story professional building, meeting the needs of local businesses. Therefore, it's my recommendation as city planner that council approve the application for zoning bylaw amendment file number D14-21-07 to change the zoning of a portion of the subject property from ML light industrial zone to GC general commercial zone. Thank you.
Given the fact that there's no members of the general public here, we'll dispense with number 3 and number 4, questions from the public and comments in support of or against the project. So that will now allow members of council, if they have any discussion points or questions regarding this application. Seeing none? Andrew, congratulations, you're now part of the quickest planning meeting we've ever had.
Don't say that.
I now declare the meeting closed. Thank you very much.
Mayor, I was just gonna say 20 seconds. Finally, an easy one, thank you.
You can't be half as relieved as I am.
Me too.
Stay tuned for future meetings.
Yeah, I want to start the first building next year, kind of plan it over the winter and start in the spring hopefully, maybe fall depending on what happens with material prices and financing, but
Okay, so,
it's a great
lunch.
site, yeah.
First thing,
I feel lucky that we grabbed those 3 lots, they're the best 3 lots by far.
Okay, so lunch is in this room next to us, so we can kind of go in at 1 or 2 at a time.
Right over that, yeah.
Yeah, you're moving around.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. And then lot 2 moving forward.